Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the LA Chargers and going over whether or not they should look into trading for Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas. But before that topic, question for those of you, I want to hear GM skills. What is your ideal trade package for Michael Thomas? Not just necessarily from the Chargers, but just overall, what do you think he's worth? A first-round pick, 2 first-round picks, first and a second, just a second, whatever it is. Comment down below and you'll kind of hear my answer throughout. Getting straight into it though, the Chargers, before I even get really into it, this is going to be speculative, of course. Michael Thomas, he hasn't requested a trade. It's just kind of theorizing right now. But we got a Saints team that's disgruntled, and we got a wide receiver that's disgruntled. So I think it's worth talking about. But before looking at the details and the variables and what needs to be taken into account, just thinking about Herbert having Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, Jalen Guyton, and Tyron Johnson, that it might be one of the deepest receiving groups in the NFL if everything goes as training camp is looking. Everyone's saying Josh Palmer's looking good, Tyron Johnson's looking good. Everyone's saying, these younger guys, these guys are looking to have breakout years, are breaking out in camp. And I got to say, the Chargers, that would be almost, you could argue, the best receiving core in the NFL if these guys did pan out. So it's tempting, of course. But after the fun and games, you do have to take into account all the variables. Is Michael Thomas, is he going to request a trade? Are the Saints even looking to trade him? Are the Chargers looking to shop for him? Maybe they're happy with their guys. But, what if I'm thinking this is a trade that needs to happen during the season, right around or right before the bye week, which I think is directly after week 8 in my opinion. I think it's the Tuesday after week 8, whatever that is, November 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, one of those three. In the Chargers, they got a bye week 7. I think that's the perfect time to scheme, do we need a Michael Thomas? Looking at their first 6 games, the Chargers got Washington, Dallas, Chiefs, Raiders, Browns, Ravens. That's a very tough 6-week schedule. Washington, everyone thinks they're a top 3 defense in football. Cowboys, I'm a little iffy on them, but if you ask a Cowboys fan, they have the best offensive football, so take that with a grain of salt. Chiefs are the Chiefs. Raiders, I'm not too worried, but a division game, anything can happen. And then the Browns, one of the top 3 rosters, and Ravens, one of the most electric players, of course, in Lamar Jackson. That's a tough run. And to me, if the Chargers can reach week 7 in the bye week and be 500, 3-3, that is an absolute win, in my opinion. They have won to the nines. They're on cloud 9. That is just amazing, in my opinion, due to that schedule, because after the bye week, you got a decent patch, Patriots, Eagles, Steelers, Broncos, Bengals, Giants. That's a different 7 games, 6 games compared to the first 6, And like I said, you enter the bye week, you're 3-3. Say the Chiefs are 5-1, I'm not saying they need to chase the division, but a Michael Thomas in that, I don't want to say easy patch in the last half of the season, but an easier patch than the first half or first part, could really allow this team to go from 3-3 to finishing 12-5. That's Michael Thomas is a top 5, top 6 receiver, depending on where you got him. You'd have 2 top 10 receivers on your team between Michael Thomas and Keenan Allen. And maybe, come bye week, it's just a judgment thing. If Mike Williams broke out, if Jalen Guyton broke out, if Josh Palmer broke out, if Tyron Johnson broke out, then I don't want to say you cut your losses, but you're fine without Thomas. It's just not a necessity. Of course, anyone would like to have him, but you just don't think you need him. But in my opinion, say Mike Williams, he's got upside, but he's just never reached what he was supposed to be. You're going to probably cut your losses in the following offseason. Josh Palmer, he's looking great, but he's a rookie. He's going to need some time. Jalen Guyton, Tyron Johnson, they're going to be great for what they were last year. Some flash plays, some fun plays, some deep routes, some speed use. But they're just not a number 2 or number 3 option. But you throw in a Michael Thomas, you got Josh Palmer as your number 3 option, and Jalen Guyton and Tyron Johnson are still 4th and 5th options, which are amazing options. You could consider it. Michael Thomas isn't just being traded for this season. To be traded for the next 3-4 years, he'd be a Los Angeles Charger. I don't know his contract off the top of my head, but I want to say 2 years ago or a year ago, he signed a $100 million 5-year deal with the Saints. So I think it's been, like I said, 1 or 2 years. So he'd have 3 or 4 left if he went to the Chargers. It'd be tempting, in my opinion, to at least consider. Again, the Chargers don't necessarily need him. They're just figuring themselves out, We got to make sure Justin Herbert doesn't have the sophomore slump that a lot of people are saying. Well, we got to make sure the offensive line is gelled up. If that's not great, we don't want to, give away our draft capital. We got to make sure our receivers are good or our receivers are bad. How's Brandon Staley? If he's bad, we got bigger problems, These are all speculative things. This whole video is, but of course, defense, maybe we want to save our draft capital and trade for a Marshawn Lattimore, or we want a Stephon Gilmore in the following offseason. We need to save our money for just a different player. We might not, our offense could be perfect. We need someone to help out. And Asante Samuel Jr., Chris Harris Jr., Derwin James, Michael Davis, Joey Bosa, Chenna Nwosu, Kenneth Murray. We might need to help out someone on the defense. If there's help anywhere that's desperate, Michael Thomas, as we know, is just more of a want than a need at this point. I'm just thinking of the powerhouse offense that this would create in LA for the next 3-4 years at minimum, assuming Michael Thomas isn't hurt or disgruntled with the Chargers like he was with the Saints. Looking at some articles, the Chargers are the number 2 or number 1 or number 3 landing spot. I've seen them range for anywhere from 1 to 3. I've seen the Jaguars be up there. I've seen the Ravens be up there. I'm going to make videos on them too. Again, if I'm the Chargers, I'd make a phone call. Tom Telesco is just not his move. If this was his game plan, we would have seen him try and trade for Julio Jones. We would have seen him try and reach out about Devontae Adams. We would have seen him trade up in the draft. Tom Telesco's doing his conservative thing, and I'm not saying it's bad. We got Justin Herbert out of it. You got Rashawn Slater out of it. You got Asante Samuel Jr. out of it. You got Josh Palmer out of it. It seems to be working pretty well so far. I'm not complaining. Just saying, unless Michael Thomas is being given away or they desperately need a receiver, Keenan Allen goes down. I just don't see the Chargers really fighting for this move. I'd like to see them make the phone call, like I said, Brandon Staley, Tom Telesco, when the time comes. If the Chargers are 1-5, at that point, they may say, we got bigger problems to worry about. If they're 5-1, they might say, we're 5-1 and we've gone this far. Well, they might be like, well, we want him today because we're going to finish 16-1. I don't know. It's up to the Chargers, up to Tom Telesco, up to Brandon Staley. Again, nothing's needed, but I would definitely do my best to at least look into the situation. And of course, it's going to determine how much Michael Thomas is costing. Is he going to cost 2 first-round picks? If so, and I'm the Chargers, I'm good. But you also have to consider Justin Herbert's only going to be on a rookie contract for so long. You can only afford a baller roster around him for so long. Maybe it might be worth it. I'd love to see if I could get Michael Thomas for 1 first-round pick and under, maybe a first and a fifth, maybe 2 seconds, something around that range. I'm not a GM, I'm not in the front office. I don't know how to crunch the exact value of his worth, but that's just my broad opinion. I do want to hear from you guys. Like I said, should the Chargers trade for Michael Thomas? To me, it's not a need. It is a want, but it is a want that it should at least be looked into. But again, that's why I'd say evaluate it. Come to bye week, 6 weeks into the season, you got a week off. You can just reevaluate, take a step back, take a different look, take a different angle, take a different perspective, and just view this team all around. Could they use a Michael Thomas, yes or no? But as of today, I think they should have their biggest goal is just keep their eye on it. The Saints could come out this week and sign Michael Thomas to an extension, and Michael Thomas says, I'm never leaving New Orleans. Anything can happen, but we'll just have to see. You guys tell me. As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.